Hey everyone, Prime Day is just around the corner and today I'm teaming up with Modelones to create a super stunning nail look using some of their new and best-selling products. Huge shout out to Modelones for sponsoring today's video. I'll be showing you their 3-in-1 primer today along with their 6-color Cateye gel polish kit plus a few other goodies to create some super cute butterfly Cateye nails. And if you're planning to shop with Modelones on Prime Day, they've got discounts up to 60% off and you can snag an extra 20% off with the code PRIMEDAYNAIL. Now let's get right into it. I'm starting with prep. Of course, I'm going to clean up my cuticles with a cuticle softener and gently push them back. Next, I'm going to lightly buff my nails using a buffing block, just gently buffing them to remove the shiny surface. I'll also quickly etch the back of my Gel X nail tips. Now I'm going to go in with this brand new 3-in-1 nail primer from Modelones. This stuff works as a dehydrator, primer, and nail nourisher all in one. Super convenient. And I'm just swiping it across the whole nail plate to get everything ready. By the way, everything I'm using in this video will be linked down below in the description box, so make sure you guys go check that out. Next, I'm going to apply a peel-off base coat over my 3-in-1 primer. This just makes it easier to remove my nails after I'm done with this design. To bond the nail tips, I'm using my trusty Modelones nail glue. I like to apply a small amount inside the tip where it'll meet my natural nail, and then I'll apply a bead of gel glue at the very tip. And I'm going to apply the nail tip at a 45-degree angle, starting at the cuticle and gently pressing it down until the gel glue reaches my free edge. After that, I'll flash cure it under a gooseneck lamp. You're going to want to cure them fully in a big lamp for 90 seconds to ensure that the gel glue is fully cured. Modelones full cover nail tips in medium square and almond are also perfect for Gel X or press-on nails. Next, I'm using a 240 grit sanding band at 6,000 RPM to gently blend the tips into my cuticle area. I'll also go ahead and use my buffing block to remove the shine from the nail tips, which helps the gel polish adhere better. And while I'm at it, I'll file the tips to shape them a little bit more precisely and make them super neat. After that, I'm going to take some acetone on an oval brush and swipe it along the cuticle area, and this essentially seals the tip into my natural nail and ensures a smooth blend. Now I'm going to go in with the Modelones rubber base gel. I'll apply this to the nail tips and build it up to add structure to my nails. Rubber base is super versatile and great on Gel X nails and your natural nails to help grow them out. And this one in particular is super smooth and self-leveling, so I'll just continue applying this to each nail and that's it. So here's the kit I'll be using today. 6 colors of Cateye gel polishes from Modelones. I'll make sure to put the exact kit name on the screen here for you. This kit also comes with a magnetic wand just in case you don't have one. I'll also put on the screen which colors I'm going to use. And before I dive into the Cateye gel polishes, I'm going to apply a nude base to my pointer and pinky fingers. And I'm just going to build it up in a couple of layers so that it's nice and opaque. I'm starting off with Cateye Gel 2700, which is this gorgeous pinky champagne color. It's so pretty. And I'm applying it almost all the way across my nail bed, but leaving a little bit of space, which I'm reserving for the hot pink Cateye Gel, which is number 2655. And I'll just apply that hot pink Cateye Gel to the free edge, almost all the way down to the tip. But again, I'm just leaving a little bit of space in between there. And at the tip, I'm going to apply 2683, which is a purple Cateye Gel. And I'm going to finish it off with that color. I wanted to keep the look mostly pink, so I only added a little bit of purple towards the tip, just enough so that you can see it peeking through, but it doesn't take up the whole pink vibe of the nail. And today I just felt like leaning into more of a pink vibe because it's my favorite color, but the options are endless. Once I've got the colors down, I'm blending them with an ombre brush using light tapping motions. I'm especially moving the hot pink gel into like the champagne color, and then I'm grabbing a little bit of purple and blending that into the hot pink, and so forth. These gels self-level pretty easily, so I don't have to fuss too much about getting it perfectly even. Now for my favorite part, activating the shimmer particles with the magnetic wand. So to do it, I move the gel to one side, like you can see here, and then I go in the opposite direction and activate the shimmer. Just 1 or 2 swipes is all it takes to get that full-on cat eye look. I also did this underneath flash lighting so you guys can see it better, and that's pretty much all you need to do to activate the shimmer particles. I repeated the same color scheme on my middle and ring nails. Once again, I'm starting with the champagne and then moving on to the hot pink and finally the purple, keeping everything kind of slanted, going in the same direction. I lightly blended the colors to make sure that they transitioned seamlessly, and then of course I activated the shimmer particles for that full-on cat eye effect. Pro tip, Make sure that you cure your nails right after activating the shimmer. If you don't, the shimmer can dull down a little bit. So once you've got it looking good and you like what you see, pop your hand underneath your lamp and cure it so that none of the shimmer particles can move. After curing, I went ahead and created the Cateye French tips. I started by using my liner brush to map out the smile line, which helps me figure out how deep I want my French to be. For the first color, I used the champagne pink Cateye gel again. Then after I've got that smile line situated, I grabbed a little bit of product directly from the bottle, kind of like a good amount of gel, and I applied it directly underneath the smile line. I didn't slant it or anything, I just kept it going all the way down to the tip. I followed the same color scheme as before, starting off with the pink champagne and then adding some hot pink underneath. And of course, I'm going to finish with the purple Cateye gel at the tip of my nail. Since my workspace was pretty small as it's a French, I didn't feel the need to blend the colors that much, so I kind of left them as is, and I think it looks pretty good. I then activated the shimmer around again, waving the wand around one side and then swiping once or twice on the other side for the full-on Cateye effect. Now I'm going to be using this black and white gel polish from Modelones. I'm going to apply a little bit of each onto my glass dish, that way it's just kind of easier to reach for. Starting with the black gel polish, I'm going to coat all of my bristles in there and begin outlining my nails with it. I'm being super careful to avoid getting any gel polish on my skin. If you do happen to get any on your skin, just grab a lint-free wipe with some acetone or isopropyl alcohol and clean it up. And I'm just going to go around and do an outline of the nail with the black gel polish. After I finish the outline, I like to cure my nails. That way if I make a mistake later on, I can just wipe it off without messing up the whole outline. Now it's time to create the water droplet shapes. I started by drawing 3 lines, all meeting towards the center edge of my nail. If you're aiming for a super neat look, try to make the lines as thin as possible. I didn't quite manage to do that with this brush, so you'll see me cleaning up my lines later on, but I feel like having thinner lines just make it look a little bit more neat. After you create your lines, you're going to want to round off the corners to create those water droplet shapes. There are honestly a ton of butterfly patterns you could do. You can definitely make it more complicated if you like. I just wanted to keep it really simple today and just do a basic butterfly design without going all out. So I'm basically just going to round off these corners and make them more circular. And to add a little bit of extra detail, I made a small line near the tip to create another kind of water droplet that's kind of like cut off. But this step is totally optional, you don't have to do it. I just thought it added a little extra detail. Once you're happy with how the water droplets look, it's time to start adding the white gel polish dots. I began adding it to the rounded corners first, applying the most gel polish on there. As you start dotting, you'll notice that the gel polish starts to fade from your dotting tool and the dots get smaller. I use that to my advantage. So basically, I started with the larger dots on the corners, and then I used that leftover polish on my tool to make the smaller dots easier to place. So for those thin lines, definitely do that as a last step and you're going to get this really nice transition from bigger dots to smaller dots. Once I was happy with how everything looked, I gave my nails a full cure to lock it in place. Now I'm going to move on to the French. Creating the French is a little bit different, but it still follows the basic concept. So first, I outlined the French design using the black gel polish. I basically started out by creating my smile line, and then on the edges of the tips, I did a half outline of my nail. So basically just outlining the full French tip. Then I started tracing my lines, gradually spacing them out as I go towards the tip. After I've got that situated and I was happy, I then started to round out the corners, again creating those water droplet shapes. I left the smile line alone though. I didn't round those corners, I just focused on the ones at the tip. And once I was happy with that, I did take my oval brush and gently swipe along the smile line to make it a little bit more thinner. Again, just to give kind of like a more precise and neat look. And once you've rounded all your corners and cleaned up your smile line, you're pretty much done with that base. So you can just give your nails a full cure to set the black gel polish. I grabbed my dotting tool again using just a little bit of white gel polish and placed around 6 dots on the smile line, and then added 2 dots along the water droplets and just put it over any space that I thought could use it, and that was pretty much it. I repeated the same steps on the rest of my nails. I wanted the butterfly design on my center nails to point in the same direction, kind of like merge in the middle. So I did the exact same thing on my thumb, but for my ring finger, I reversed the direction and I think it turned out so cute. I'll also be posting the final results on my Instagram. I wasn't able to get photos today because it's super rainy outside, but I want to get some outdoor shots and I'll be posting them in a day or two. I'll put my Instagram handle here in case any of you want to follow or check it out. Lastly, I'm going to apply my top coat from Modelones. This is a glossy, shiny top coat and it's amazing, and I'm just going to apply it to my nails and voila! These are the finished nails. Honestly, you can never go wrong with a cute butterfly set, and I'm so happy with how these turned out. And let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one.